So my name is Frankie and I'm the marketing coordinator at CitySeed. I'm here with Poreyah, owner and founder of Vegan Ahava. Poreyah went through our Food Business Accelerator program. The Food Business Accelerator program is a statewide accelerator for Connecticut early stage entrepreneurs. The program is a partnership between CitySeed and Collab that aims to remove barriers to food entrepreneurship across the state through training, network building, and access to resources. And Poreyah was a graduate of the 2019 cohort. So I invited her here to speak with me just to get to know a little more about her and her business. Poreyah, I'm just going to ask a couple questions just to help me and the viewers get to know you a little better. Is that okay?
Sounds good. That sounds good.
Great. So let's start, I guess, with a little bit of a maybe introduction. You can tell me, where you're from and how you got started in the food industry.
So my name is Poreyah. Hi, everyone. My name is Poreyah Benson, owner and chef of Vegan Ahava food truck / grab and go storefront. Born and raised in Dimona, Israel. I'm 28 years old. I started in the food business officially, opened my truck in 2019, but I was doing dinners and lunches from my home way before starting in 2017. I'm born and raised in the Hebrew Israelite community, the Black Hebrew Israelite community in Israel, in Dimona, Israel. So everybody's vegan in the community. So I was born and raised vegan my whole life.
Cool. All right. So now start asking these questions. Okay. So how did your business get started? How did you get started in food? I guess you talked a little bit about it, but how did your business get started?
So I always had a love for food because back home, kind of the community, the women have to kind of be virtuous. So you got to know how to sew, cook, take care of kids. So you have to know how to be virtuous. So cooking was always it was always a thing for me because I started early, starting at 6, kind of having a cook day cooking for 20 plus people in a household. So that's what started me for my love for cooking. And then coming here right out of high school, seeing that it wasn't a lot of vegan options for me to eat besides some fries or a salad at a restaurant, that just kind of gave me the spark to want to open up a food business. I took a 6-month course at Concat culinary program that kind of helped me get my foot in the door even more with the cooking world or the culinary industry. And then I did the 10-week course with CitySeed and Collab that just took my business to the next level. So, yep. I think you're on mute. You're on mute, Frankie. I can't.
I see.
Okay.
Thank you. What is unique about your product or your food, your cuisine?
So I kind of bring something that New Haven does vegan community doesn't have, like every day, or a lot of the vegan locations that offer vegan food, they don't have at all. So I kind of offer and bring that to the downtown area, to the locals of New Haven, from my soul food plate, my vegan mac and cheese, my collard greens, the sweet potatoes, cornbread, and the vegan drumsticks. You can't get that really anywhere else in New Haven or even surrounding areas. So that's kind of my niche, my signature dish. I'm bringing soul food plus kind of my spices from back home in Israel. I'm bringing that all in one to the New Haven area.
Cool. You talked a little bit about being raised vegan and that's sort of your culture. I think in general, and especially here in America, um, the mainstream sort of depiction of veganism is very whitewashed. It's a very white, like, there's a an image of
Yep.
what it means to be
Hmm.
vegan, what vegans look like. Do you have any thoughts about that or anything you want to say about that, or even just your experience coming here to America? When did you come here?
I came here right out of high school. I'm 28.
Okay.
That was in 2010. So yeah, probably.
Okay. So can you talk a
Yep.
little bit about what that was like, what that experience is like?
That's definitely true. I have an incident where a customer kind of came up to me and asked me, was I just the worker of the food truck? And I told him, no, I'm the owner and chef and I'm vegan. And he was like, he was expecting he was expecting a white lady to be the owner and I'm just the helper. I'm like, no, I own it. This is mine. He was like, he didn't think Black people were into veganism, which was just like, I want to erase that stereotype. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And was that another Black person or
It was a Black
yeah.
person. Yep. He was, yep. And he was like, I'm not trying to be rude, but are you the owner? And I'm like, yes. And he like, I was expecting a white lady to be the owner. Nobody
Yeah.
Black. I don't really know nobody Black vegan. I'm like, well, I'm the first person you met. Yeah. So, yep.
That's
That's,
really cool. Did you love that feeling of being like, no, I own this. This is mine.
yeah, I did. I was like, no, I had to kind of just take it in like, wow, this is how people really think and it's not even nothing to be mad over. We just got to erase that stereotype. Or
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
it's not even that. I wasn't mad or anything. I would just politely told him, yeah, this is mine. He was excited. He was like, go ahead. After I told him, yeah, he was excited. He was like, go ahead, sister, you know.
I
So
love
yeah.
that. Um, and I guess this is along the same line, and you kind of touched on it, but just what does it mean to be a Black entrepreneur to you, and like how does that feel, and what like
um
do you feel like there's like I don't know, um, I guess that example though, that experience of having someone come up and not assume that you own the
mhm.
place. Um, I guess that's one piece of it, but I'm just
That
wondering if you have
yeah.
other experiences like that. Um,
That was the one that kind of stood out, but being a young entrepreneur, kind of not knowing the ropes of things, I made a lot of mistakes that I didn't have to make money wise, um, in the business and everything. Like if I had the more guidance as being an entrepreneur coming from another country, just trying to get myself on the right track. I feel like if I had more guidance in the beginning, I wouldn't have made the mistakes I did make in the business world.
that makes sense.
Hmm.
And that's why like it's so great that City Seed and Collab have been able to work together to put that program in place because I feel like a lot of people have that experience where
Yeah.
um, it's just hard. Like the process can be so difficult.
Yes.
And
It
you
can be
like
overwhelming.
you're such a great success story too for the FBA program, I think.
I
Um,
appreciate that. Yeah. And Collab and City Seat to this day still reach out and help when they're needed, send me information if needed. Like they don't just stop after the program. So that's what makes it like feel like, oh, this was really meant to be because Caroline, Margaret, everybody from City Seed, they always reaching out. Sending, like I said, sending me information, sending me anything. They even let me, when I first started right after the program, use the City Seed Kitchen for my farm, for my markets and my festivals and different stuff like that. So
yeah,
it's always felt like a family, and that's what I love about that program.
Oh, I love that. That's so great
Yeah.
to hear. Um, so can you tell me the story behind your business name?
So vegan, of course. And then it started off as Vegan Love, but when I went to actually register the business legally with the Secretary of State, that name was already taken.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So I just switched it to Ahava, which means love in Hebrew anyway. So
Yeah.
and that name wasn't taken. So I was like, okay, and it's a niche. And my mom name in Hebrew means love as well, Ahuva. So I'm just like, okay, vegan love, vegan ahava, and it always give everybody that, oh, what ahava mean? What language? They
Yeah.
always get people
Sparks up
excited.
like,
So it just
yeah.
so it just made sense, and it just stuck. So people like that name, it just stuck. So yeah.
Cool. Um, so what is your favorite product that you do?
Favorite product, like
Yeah,
as
like
in
what do you
dish
make? What
wise?
your favorite dish? Yeah. It could be, I guess it
Oh,
could be a whole like combination of dishes, but like, do you have one favorite thing that you make?
um, um, I make the Jackson 5, the soul food plate that customers love, but that's not my favorite. My favorite, I love anything with potatoes. I'm just like a potato person.
Yeah.
So I would eat a bowl of nice creamy mashed potatoes daily if I could. I would
Yeah.
eat it daily. But what my customers love the most is my soul food plate that I do every Saturday. Like I said it earlier, but it's the mac and cheese, the drumsticks made from pea protein and soy, um, collard greens, sweet potatoes, and the cornbread. And people come from all over Connecticut, all over New York, the Massachusetts, so the whole tri-state area. People come from all over just to try it, and it's been a big hit since I debuted it on the menu.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Um, and so while we're talking, I guess just about operations and stuff, do you want to talk a little bit about like how people can find you, like buy food? Do you have like an order pickup system? I know you have a truck. Do you want to talk a little bit about the truck, the hours, the locations, just to get everyone familiar with how they can taste some vegan ahava?
hmm So I'm still a truck. I started as a truck in 2019, but in 2020, kind of summertime, I outgrew the truck for storage and prep area. So I collabed with Edible Couture, who's a bakery and offer vegan options. We got a storefront at 129 Court Street. So I offer grab and go items there. I usually list on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, where I'll be located that day, if the truck will be out, if my store will be open. Um, so that's how you can kind of find where we'll be that day and what we'll have on the menu through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Vegan Ahava on all social media. Um, I think I answered that question.
Yes. And I will make sure that I tag all of your different social media accounts.
Mhm.
Um, is there one thing that you want everybody to know about your business?
Um,
You can interpret that
One
however you
thing,
want.
wow, probably it's so much going through my mind that I can't really pinpoint one thing. But oh, I always tell people because my business is I just don't cater to vegans. I cater to everybody. So half of my customers is the good thing or the crazy thing. I guess it's a good thing. They not even vegan. They just love the flavor, and I pride myself on customer service. So the customer service that we offer as well. But I always tell people, you're not just gonna eat a raw piece of chicken. You're gonna flavor that. You're gonna season that up with herbs and spices. So that's how I do with a piece of cauliflower and mushrooms. So it's all about flavor. I tell people. That's one thing that we pride ourselves on at Vegan How the flavor is there. So we cater to everybody, not just vegans. You can be anybody and you can come try us.
Yes, you can. Because I'm not vegan and I love everything I've tried from
Appreciate
you.
it.
So,
Thank you.
I guess this one, I'll ask one
Mhm.
more. What's the hardest, or what's the best and the hardest thing, or what are the best and hardest things about being in the industry?
Um, the best is you make people happy through food. So that's the best thing. I love to see and hear the feedback from customers every day, all day about how good the food was, how far they drove to try the food, how worth it the drive was. But the worst is just being kind of like a one-man show, from the bookkeeping to the advertisement on social media to coming up with the recipes, the menu. I was doing everything, kind of still doing everything. I have help here and there, but I was doing literally everything on my own. So it was just kind of, it gets overwhelming if you don't have that support. I thought about even taking some time off because it just got overwhelming with the new customers coming in and stuff like that. And I was grateful for that, but I'm just like, I can't cater to all of these customers because I'm by myself. So that was
Yeah.
the hardest part. But just seeing people come from all over and leaving with a smile, that means so much to me, and that makes me like really happy.
Sorry, I'm muted. That's that's amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. I hope that everyone gets out there and tries some vegan ahava. Um, and I'll be sure to include all of like links and social media handles in whatever post or description that I have going on with this
Yeah,
video.
thank you, Frankie, for having me. And shout out to Collab.
No
Shout out
problem.
to CitySeed. Shout out to Concat. Like they just kind of paved the way and just brought me to the center of things because I was all over the place before. I kind of had my foot in the door with Collab and CitySeed. So shout out to them. I tell Margaret and Caroline and everybody at CitySeed anything they need, any mentorship, anything they need, they always can call me because they really looked out for me. So appreciate them.